Guys, Cam Newton is back in Carolina. And I mean, I'm not a Panther fan or anything, you know. We're going to do a rebuild of the Carolina Panthers with Cam Newton. Can the Panthers turn it around? They're 4-5. They just lost to the Patriots and Mac Jones. They got to play the Cardinals, I do believe, 8-1. But after that, the schedule's kind of easy. And it looks like that an 8-9 or 9-8 team can make the playoffs this year, specifically in the NFC. So we are going to rebuild around Cam Newton. I am so excited. But let's get it started. Can we get Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers their first ever Super Bowl? Rebuild starts now. All right, here we go, guys. Cam Newton is on the roster. He's 71 overall, and that is actually the same as Sam Darnold. So the Panthers are actually not doing worse as far as simulation goes with adding Cam Newton. Now, he is 32. He's probably going to regress quite a bit. The whole goal in this rebuild is for us to get a Super Bowl win, or at least let's try to get a Super Bowl appearance with Cam Newton under center with the Carolina Panthers before he retires. We probably only got a few years before we can actually do that. And I'm going to say 2 to 3 is what we're trying to go for. But man, doesn't he look good in that Carolina Panther jersey with the number 1? It's just fitting. Now, let's see what we can do. In the meantime, we're in the middle of the season, 4-5. What can we do to help Cam Newton and this team, specifically the offense, do better? Defense is doing really good. Top 10 defense in the NFL. Good thing for Cam Newton is Christian McCaffrey just came back. You got DJ Moore, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. Top 5 in total yards as a wide receiver since coming in the NFL. A little tidbit of knowledge for you. Robbie Anderson, kind of having a down year. He's dropping a lot of balls, but the Panthers also got Terrence Marshall Jr. You've got Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble, in my eyes, is the way better tight end option. Now, there's only one good lineman on the Panther situation, and that's Tyler Moton with right tackle. Everyone else, look at this. 66, 62, 55, 58. We've got to re-sign some guys. We're looking at free agency because there's got to be better linemen that we can give Cam Newton the opportunity in the simulation to actually do good. Now, if we go to the defense side of the ball, we know everything's good. You got Jeremy Chin. You got Stephon Gilmore. You got C.J. Anderson. You got Dante Jackson. You got Shaq Thompson, who's having a great year at the linebacker. And then we go with Brian Burns, Hassan Reddick, Morgan Fox. You got your Tigros Matos. They can bring the pressure. The defense can handle itself. It's really going to come down, can we get this offense to score enough points so that the Panthers can actually have a chance to make in the playoffs this year? So let me see if I can get some players signed, specifically some linemen, offensive linemen, and I'll be back in a second. All right, so welcome to the new and improved Carolina Panthers offense, and there's not a lot that has changed, unfortunately. We still got DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, of course, Cam Newton, but look at this offensive line. It's a little better. We don't have any 50s in here. We don't have any 60s. Well, 69, but that's a good number, right? We brought back Ryan Khalil, who was in free agency, who played with Cam. They've got a good relationship. We're going to put him at center, and we've just got a hodgepodge of linemen. I just went and got the best linemen in free agency. I'll put them in there, but look who else I got on defense. We need a linebacker help. We got in Jamie Collins, who just got cut from Detroit. 79 overall is a lot better than what we had with Jermaine Carter at a 70, and with simulation, numbers matter. We also put C.J. Henderson in at safety. The Panthers have a ton of corner depth. I mean, you got Stephon Gilmore, Dante Jackson, AJ Bouye, CJ Henderson. JC Horn is probably going to come off of IR towards the end of the season, so we'll also have him as well. And then you have Rashawn Melvin. So there's tons of depth here. So we're going to move somebody up to safety because we were kind of weak in that. And this makes this team a little bit more athletic. The defense is going to be better. Let's see if the Panthers, first year in, Cam Newton, they're going up against the Cardinals. I don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to advance to the end of the season, see what we got. And let's hope that Cam Newton can bring the Panthers a playoff run. All right, here we are in free agency. Now, we need to sign as many people as we can, and I'm going to try to get Stephon Gilmore on here. We still got Cam Newton. I think these one-year deals are going to be best for us because this is a short-term rebuild. We're not really trying to do too much. Let's see if we can make an offer here, and I'll let you know if I sign some of these guys. All right, we got to get the salary, but we're probably going to try to get Hassan Reddick. We got to get Dante Jackson as well. I mean, there's a lot of good players here for the Panthers that are coming up, but I think all of these guys we've got to let go. Of course, we're going to try to get Cam Newton. We have to. We're going to do a 2-year deal for him just to see if we can't lock him up. Let's go ahead and give him a 3-year and get somebody signed here so you know. All right, cool. So we got a 2-year deal there for Cam Newton. Cam Newton. And let's see if Hassan Reddick will be. That'll be a good end piece for us. and it's kind of burning through our cap room, just so you know. But we've got money. That's the good thing about the Panthers, is that they have the money. So we need more money and signing bonus for Hassan Reddick. We need a bigger signing bonus for Stephon Gilmore. And then Dante Jackson, 4 years. Will he accept this? All right, we got Dante Jackson paired up, so we're good. I don't think I'm going to sign any of these linemen because they're just not good, and we can really find those pretty much in free agency, late in free agency. I'm really not even worried about that. We want to lock up these guys for this rebuild as quickly as we can. And I think everybody else is going to be good. We're just going to leave them because they're all just kind of depth players, and I'm not really worried about that. But check this out. We beat the Cardinals 28-21. Let's check out the score right quick, just so you guys can see. I didn't even look at it. I just fast forwarded through there, and then I saw that I needed to sign some guys. 28-21. I don't even know if Kyler Murray was playing or not. We're going to find out really quickly. He was. So Cam threw for 264 yards in his debut. He threw 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's very Cam Newton-esque, right? He's not going to throw for a lot. He completed 65% of his passes, which is more than he normally does. He didn't run that much. Christian McCaffrey had 3 touchdowns. So Christian McCaffrey was the reason why the Panthers won that game. And that's probably going to be the way that it needs to be. Cam's going to have to limit the turnovers. Christian McCaffrey's going to have to do his thing. So let's go ahead, see if the Panthers will make the playoffs. 5-5. That's a good start. We got the Cardinals. We got the Dolphins and the Falcons. These are going to be 3 wins. They're sitting 8-5. There's a good chance the Panthers can make it. I'll catch you up after those 3. Let's see what happens. Sorry, guys, I lied. Don't tell nobody. Actually forgot to hit the record button, but the Panthers lose in the playoffs against Tom Brady, the GOAT himself. The Panthers finished 11-6. Cam Newton was actually a success for the Panthers. He turns around the team. They get a playoff win against the Arizona Cardinals. He throws 19 touchdowns in his return for the Panthers. He had 8 interceptions. But in the divisional round against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cam Newton, who was 2-0 all-time against Tom Brady in real life, not in the simulation, he loses. He throws 2 picks, and Tom Brady throws 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards, and the Buccaneers beat the Carolina Panthers to finish off the season. But the Panthers had a good run this season. We've got a lot to build around. Hopefully, we can get some pieces in here and give us a good run for next year. 11-5 or 11-6, I think, is all Panther fans get asked for with bringing on Cam Newton. Current salary cap is not looking too good. You can see right here, we've got too many players. We're going to have to cut some of those. So let's go in this. We're going to get the draft started. Free agency. Let's assemble a Super Bowl team around Cam Newton. Guys, just to tell you how hard a simulation is or a rebuild doing Madden, I mean, it's the freaking Saints up against the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs is believable, right? But the Saints beat the Buccaneers 37-20, and they're in there. The Jameis Winston-less Saints end up taking it all the way to the Super Bowl. So that's what we're up against. Anything can happen in these simulations. We're going to try our best to build this team, but my God. All right, so for retirees, Ryan Khalil retires after 14 years. He was free agency. I'm actually surprised he hasn't officially retired already, which I feel like he did. Maybe I'm completely forgetting. Mock draft. Now, we're going to be around like late 20s. I didn't even do any scouting because we were late in the year, so I did it all on I let the computer to do that. I've never done that before. I have no idea how this is going to go, but they're saying we're going to get a left tackle, Sean Ryan. Do we have anybody else here? Let's see if this thing builds out. No. Oh, yeah, you've got to wait till all the other ones come in, or maybe we've already missed them. I'm not sure how that works. I've never done a simulation like this with the new scouting update this late in the season. I've always started back from the beginning, but we've got to do some re-signings. Now, we've got 26 guys that we can re-sign. How many of them are actually worth it? We're probably not going to get Matt Paradis or Daquan Jones. I don't see us really bringing in any, even Zane Gonzalez. Now, he's got a big leg on him, but we're really going to look for a kicker with accuracy. Yeah, I just don't see anybody here that's actually worth re-signing. That means there's going to be a lot of holes on the team for us to re-sign. But, you know, with simulation, I've turned injuries off. We really don't even need to worry about that. I really don't see the point. So I think we're going to be good. Let's get in the free agency. See if we can't. I'm really going to look for some offensive line as much as I can with our current salary cap that we have. All right, guys. So we signed Osimile and David DeCastro to our offensive line, 2 like mid-70 leggy guys, but we don't have a lot of cap space. And one of the reasons why we don't is because the Panthers did a franchise tender on freaking Sam Darnold. There's $15 million we could have right now to kind of build up our team. So I think I'm going to try to trade him. I'm going to see if somebody will bite on Sam Darnold at 72. Now, I don't think we'll get a lot out of him, but maybe we can at least get some of that money off the books. And maybe there's a team that would be desperate. Quarterbacks and trading for Madden are kind of ridiculous. So we're going to try to use and abuse that just a little bit. All right, guys. So I did a straight up trade. I didn't really think this would get accepted or not, but Sam Darnold for Devin Bush from the Steelers. Hey, I'll take it. We needed a middle linebacker. That immediately fills a hole. He's young. I really wasn't expecting that. I'm quite honest with you. I probably could have gotten more for that. I didn't think they would accept it, but anyways, we got it. So 1 for 1. There's no way in heck the Steelers would ever trade Sam Darnold for Devin Bush. Never. But we did it anyways. So now we've got some good offensive linemen. We've got an added linebacking core. So now we're pretty good come draft. I don't need to reach for anybody. I can just take whoever's best available. We're still going to try to take some offensive line and some linebacker help, but outside of that, we're good. All right, and because we had that extra money from the Sammy D trade, freed about $20 million in cap space, I went out and got KJ Wright and Sheldon Richardson. We got some good linebacking depth now. We've got some good defensive tackle depth. We're still not great, but the team's not bad. I mean, outside of obviously quarterback position, Cam Newton did progress down to a 70. So we might only have one more year with Cam Newton before he's probably going to be, we probably won't be able to do nothing with him, but we do got 2-year contracts. So we got to at least give out those 2 years. And mock draft 3 is up. I think next week is the draft. I don't think we're going to sign anybody else. The recap's over with. We got 8.6 mil, so we can sign some people after the draft to maybe fill in some holes of places that we need. But I don't think we're really in a big deal. We're not going to sign a quarterback. We're not going to draft a quarterback. We do need a backup, but I'll probably sign that in free agency. And let's get the draft started. All right, here we go. We're pick 27. And who are we going to pick, man? It's going to be tough because I didn't even get a chance to look at any of these players. None of that stuff. I am using Bengals draft class, so I should know a little bit of these players, but I really don't off the top of my head. All right, guys, so I think I'm going to go with left tackle. And we got Zion Nelson here. One of the things that's very interesting about him is that his strength is elite here. That's always very big for linemen, but at the same time, lead block is A, run block power is A, pass block is A. His awareness is C, and that can be lifted up, but this seems to be like a really good player. I'm hoping that it is. We're going to draft him. Let's see what happens here. Oh, stud finder. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Now, he's got a hidden development trait. That's pretty freaking big. So hopefully he's going to be somebody who we can build around for Cam Newton. Now, we need enough protection so he doesn't get hurt. Give Cam some time to throw the ball. Zion Nelson looking like a surefire thing. All right, we need a little bit of safety help, and we've got Bubba Bolden here out of Miami, the U. Used to have some really, really good talent coming out of Miami. We're going to go ahead and try to draft him, see what we have. Panthers didn't have a second-round pick because they traded away. Good acceleration, good agility. All this stuff looks decent for his safety. We don't know what his overall is. We're going to have to wait. Normal development trait. I'm going to say he's probably a low 70 guy. I think the guy that we got is going to be really, really good. I think he's going to be I'm going to say a 76, 77, which is really good because that was our weakest spot for the offensive line going forward. Now, we've got 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm not going to bore you with these. Let's get straight ahead and looking at who we drafted. All right, so I was a little wrong about Zion. He's a 74 overall, but that's still a lot better. Our first 2 picks were both out of Miami. They're both really young, where at least Zion is at 21. Now, we have Bolden Wright. He was 71. That's pretty good depth at that safety position there, which we kind of need. We needed a safety, and he'll be a good backup. We probably could even get him to start and move CJ Henderson back to the corner spot. But everyone else, we got some good depth at center. We got a backup quarterback at 65 overall. Not too bad. He's a good backup, you know. We got another good safety, 68. And then we've got a running back, CJ Verdell out of Oregon, another elusive back to complement Chuba Hubbard and Christian McCaffrey. I think this is a good defense. I mean, a good draft, especially considering we didn't have a second-round pick, and I wasn't able to actually scout any of these players myself. That first pick, though, since this is a short rebuild, is freaking crucial and critical, and he's an instant starter, which is what we need. Let's see if the Panthers, year 2 with Cam Newton, can get back into the playoffs. All right, guys, so here we are, second year with Cam Newton. We're an 81 overall, which I think is better than it was last year. I'm not entirely sure, but look at this. This team is a lot better. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Christian McCaffrey. We all know those guys, right? We got Chuba Hubbard playing fullback. We got the new rookie, Zion Nelson, 75 overall. We got Simile right here. We've got Jordan Patterson, I think Jordan or Jordy, I can't really remember. He's also a draftee that we had this past year. David DeCastro, Tyler Moton, Tommy Tremble. Offense is looking a little better, right? I mean, I think overall, especially the offensive line is way better. Defense, we've gotten even better with Dante Jackson, CJ Anderson, KJ Wright. That linebacking core is quick, it's fast, and we are doing a lot better on that end of the ball. Of course, we've got Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick, who's going to be bringing the pressure along with Derek Brown and Sheldon Richardson. I think this team can destroy some people on the defensive side of the ball. Why does Devin Bush look like one of those like little baby heads on this picture? Doesn't he look like a little baby? But let's see. We're going to fast forward to the midway point of the season to see what happens. The Panthers have got the Bengals, the Vikings, the Rams, the Giants. They could be what, 2-2, 3-1, maybe. I don't know. But they also could lose and be 1-3. Who knows? We're going to advance to the midway point of the season to see what Cam Newton with this new Panthers offense is going to be all about. All right, so we're 5-2, looking pretty daggone good. We've got some upgrades to do, but I'll do that on the back end. Let's look at the stats so far. We got to see what the team's working with. I mean, Cam Newton is third in the NFL in passing touchdowns. He's 15-3. Guys, Cam Newton in simulation is a monster. It doesn't matter what year, what Madden, since he has been in Madden for whatever reason, and this just shows you that Madden simulation's broken, he's 15-3. Well, I mean, like 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Like, holy crap. Averaging 268 yards. That's beast mode right there. He's not running the ball a whole lot, which you would... It's going to be the other way around for him this part in his career. He's not going to throw a lot. He's going to run it mostly. Christian McCaffrey's 580 yards rushing at the midway, so he's going to have 1,000 yards. He's got 9 touchdowns. He might get the 20. Who knows? DJ Moore, it's okay. Not bad. He's getting touchdowns. He's just not getting really that many yards. Robbie Anderson, Terrence Marshall's doing a pretty good job. Tommy Tremble's catching a few here. Let's look at the defense. What's the defense cooking with? Because if Cam Newton's throwing dimes like that, the defense has got to be doing something. AJ Bouye, CJ Henderson. We've got a few interceptions here. What about sacks? Not too good. Brian Burns has 5. We paid Hassan Reddick, but he only has 2 at the midway point of the season. We might have to look at trading him. That's not too good. Derek Brown's looking good. Now, Devin Bush, 3 sacks. He doesn't have an interception, though. Who's leading us in tackles is actually Shaq Thompson. And Devin Bush is our sub linebacker, so he's even in dime packages. But Shaq is doing good, man. He's rolling. And the Panthers are 4th in NFL in offensive yards. So Panthers are looking good. We're going to figure out. Now, they're 5-2. You have to think at this point they have a good chance of making the playoffs. What is I got to check and see where is. Oh yeah, we're leading the NFC South by 1 game. The Buccaneers are in dead last, who made the Super Bowl last year. So let's see if the Panthers can make the playoffs. All right, guys, the Panthers finished 14-3. 14-3. Oh my God. They crushed it. I mean, they landslide won the NFC South. They've got the #1 seed in the NFC. So 1 game and they're going to be in the conference championship. That's all they got to do. So let's look and see if they can let's look at these stats, because Cam had a really good season to start off. 39 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Are you kidding me? He threw for over 4,000 yards, 39 touchdowns, a 68% completion percentage. Christian McCaffrey ran for 20 touchdowns. This offense is the most explosive offense in the NFL, at least in this sim. That is ridiculous. Now, DJ Moore, look at the spread of wealth. DJ Moore almost had 1,000 yards, but you got Robbie Anderson, Terrence Marshall, Christian McCaffrey had another 700-yard receiving season. Tommy Tremble turned it up with another. Look, 700, 700, 700, 700, 900. Like, that is spreading the wealth there. I don't know if there's ever been 5 players on a team that had over 700 receiving yards. Somebody's going to have to let me know down in the comments below, because I'm just not sure if that's ever happened. That seems like such a rare feat. And I've never seen it before either. Hassan Reddick turned it up with 15.5 sacks. He had 2 in the midway point. He had 13 and a half with what, 8 or 9 games? Holy crap. He's almost averaging 2 a game. Brian Burns had 13, so he was definitely worth the contract extension there. Now, we haven't signed anybody, so we got to hop on that. But at the same time, look at Jeremy Chinn's interceptions. Stephon Gilmore, CJ Henderson had some at that safety position. AJ Bouye. Devin Bush actually turned it up a notch. Did he lead in tackles? No, but we had 2 guys with over 100 tackles. So that's daggone good, man. This team is looking legit. Let's look at the yearly awards. Christian McCaffrey for MVP. Can we say it again? Christian McCaffrey for MVP. You really don't know how Cam Newton was 9th on that voting list. Matt Rule's going to get Coach of the Year again. Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. Khalil Mack gets that. Now, Son Reddick was right there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I was hoping that our left tackle would get it, but of course that's not going to happen. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we didn't have anybody. Best quarterback goes to Dak Prescott over Cam Newton. Christian McCaffrey wins Best Running Back. Nobody here. Best Offensive Line, Tyler Moton was there on the 7th spot, but he didn't get it. Best Defensive Line, Son Reddick was almost there. Khalil Mack gets Best Linebacker. Now I moved Hassan Reddick from linebacker to left end just to move some things around. Best DV, CJ Henderson made a spot there in that safety position. We have to keep rolling with that. And of course, I don't think anybody of our guys are going to get there for kicker. But that's pretty freaking good. Now we're going to fast forward to this, but I'm going to upgrade our players. I'm going to do these staff points too, because some of this might actually help us. And, man, the Panthers are on their way to a Super Bowl. All right, so the Panthers are going up against the Seattle Seahawks. 9-8, 14-3 Panthers, overall 83. This is actually a tight game. Really great defense for the Panthers. Really good offense for the Seahawks. Who is going to get the victory and go on to the Super Bowl? We got Devin Bush here we can upgrade. Now, he's upgraded quite a lot. What a steal for the Sam Darnold trade. That was totally worth it. And it's came in clutch. Devin Bush has definitely been somebody who has made an impact on this team with the tackles. Had a few sacks in there. He's kind of bolstered that middle linebacking spot or linebacking core, and we're going to advance. Does the Carolina Panthers, do they beat the Seahawks? Let's see. Do they go to the conference title game? And they do, and they're going up against Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. Cam Newton mentored Justin Fields. Who's going to win this battle? Now, this is a good one. And oh no, the Panthers lose to the Bears 19-14. What happened? I cannot believe that just happened. The Panthers run into a buzzsaw. The Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. Are you kidding me? I cannot believe that. Preseason, we don't care about the preseason. 14-9. What happened? Now, last season, Cam Newton kind of messed up. We'll just put it like that. And he threw 2 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions again, but he threw for over 300 yards. Like, what happened here? How did they lose this game? Justin Fields didn't run the ball in. I mean, what? Was it really just the 2 turnovers? Christian McCaffrey, they didn't even run the ball at all. That's kind of what it was. The Bears stopped the run game, and the Panthers really couldn't do a whole lot. Now, Christian McCaffrey caught for over 100 yards right here. DJ Moore did too. It just seems like it came down to those 2 turnovers for Cam Newton. And oh, what happened? The 14-3 Panthers lose in the conference championship. Now, with Cam Newton, they make the playoffs twice. And oh man, that is brutal. We've got one more year, and I think something just happened on my PC. One more year to finish this thing off. And if we do, well, this is it really, because Cam Newton will probably regress so bad that we can't do anything. One more year to see if we can't get Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers into the Super Bowl. All right, we're in the offseason. A little funny thing here. Gene Dangus. Doesn't that ring a bell to anybody who knows anything about YouTube and Madden rebuilds? I thought that was really funny. And it's a superstar X Factor. If you know, you know. I'm just going to leave it at that. But we're going to go through here. We're trying to get as many potential guys to surround Cam Newton as possible. And let's see if we got any of them. I went out and tried to get a few good pieces. Offensive line. I tried to get David DeCastro again. And it looks like we got it. We also got Graham Gano. So it's a coming home party for the Carolina Panthers. We went and got some good defensive end depth. We got a punter. We got a kicker. We got a decent left guard. So I'm pretty happy with those moves. We don't have too much money left, and I'm just going to stay put. We're going to go through the draft. We're going to draft these players. We've got one more year with Cam Newton. The team is better than ever. I'm happy with it. Cam hasn't really regressed too much, so let's see what happens here in the draft. All right, so I had to make a quick little wardrobe change. It was getting hot in this jersey with all these lights. All right, let's start the draft here. All right, guys, so here we are in the draft, first round. We're going with Steve McGuire. We need some linebacker help. He's here on the board. We're going to draft him. Normal development. Oh, I don't know. That might be like a low 70 overall player. Normal development's not good, but again, this is our last year in the rebuild. So let's see who else we pick here in the draft, and I'll let you know very shortly. All right, so here we go. Actually, Steve McGuire was really good, 75 overall, even better than last year, but he's just a normal development trait, unfortunately. But he is an instant starter, and like I said, first round picks, you want them to be instant starters. I went back with another linebacker because we do need depth, and he was only a 66 overall, so not that great. But we did get a 69 wide receiver in the fourth round. Not too bad. That's actually really, really good if I do say so myself. We got some more middle linebacker depth, which is what we need. Now it looks like we probably need defensive tackle and backup defensive end before we can get this season started. We got $6.5 million cap space, so we probably can go out and get somebody good. But I'm feeling good about this. As long as Cam Newton can do what he needs to do and limit the turnovers, I think this team is going to be in contention again, and maybe another 14-win season, maybe another 12-plus win season. I see that happening. Let's see what happens. Holy crap, Tom Brady is 46 years old and in the league at 86. Who's not signing him? I mean, Jesus, Colin Kaepernick gets signed every year, and he's like, what, a 82? I mean, he's got to get signed. Holy crap, this dude never freaking retires. That is ridiculous. Last year for Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers to get that Super Bowl that they thought they would get when drafting Cam Newton #1 overall. Here we go. Let's check out the roster that I have assembled in this rebuild with Cam Newton leading this offensive team with a 68 overall. He's regressed even more, so we're just not going to be able to do much with him after this if we can't get it done, and there's no need in re-signing him, especially when we got a backup at 67. So it only makes sense last year of his contract, we got a backup that's technically just as good. Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, we got Terrence Marshall here. We've got the rookie Allen here at 72 overall. Tommy Tremble has made a huge leap at 78 overall, where we didn't even have to get a tight end. This offensive line is finally getting good. I mean, we have Tyler Moton, we've got Zion Nelson. David DeCastro's back again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. When we go to the defense is stellar. As usual, we got led by Devin Bush. We've got our rookie McGuire in there. Shaq Thompson still holding it down in the linebacking core. Madden keeps on disconnecting from the server because this game is absolutely broken. But then when we go on the defensive line, we still got Brian Burns, who's probably going to be like a 99 overall by the end of the season. Still got Dante Jackson. We still got Stephon Gilmore at a 97 overall. Your Yatir Gross-Matos is still holding it down. He must, somebody must have got hurt because, yeah, Hassan Reddick should be there. He must have gotten hurt during the preseason when I was fast forwarding this. And we got Yatir Gross-Matos also holding it down on defensive tackle. He can actually run the 3 technique, and it's something that he hasn't done a lot for the Panthers, but he does have the skill set to do. So here we go, guys. Final year. We're going to sim to the middle of the season, and we're going to see what these Panthers are all about. Can they make it the playoffs for the 3rd straight year with Cam Newton? Let's find out. All right, guys, here we are kind of at the halfway point. Panthers are 5-3. They're not as great as they have been doing. They're tied atop the NFC South with a 5-3 record. Now, the NFC South is tight. There's 2 5-3 teams and 2 4-4 teams. So things are tight for the Panthers. If they want to get in the playoffs, they're going to have to win these divisional games. Let's look at how the Panthers are doing. What are the stats looking like? 3rd in the NFL in offensive yards. That's already a good sign. So it must mean our defense. Yeah, 23rd. What is going on with our defense? Cam Newton's 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, pretty average, but not one of the highest completion percentages of his career. Actually, let's look at his career right quick while we've got him here. And yeah, I mean, look, that was like MVP Cam last year. 39 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Is that the most yards that he has thrown? Yeah, it is, since 2011, since his rookie year, and definitely the most passing touchdowns he's thrown. That's actually quite impressive for this simulation. But we look at McCaffrey. McCaffrey's having a good year. He might get 1,500 yards. He was MVP last year. He's already got 14 touchdowns. Will he break He had 20, I think, last year. Will he break the single season rushing touchdown? Chuba's not getting them anymore. That's actually very surprising. Robbie Anderson is leading the way with 587 receiving yards. That's pretty good. If we look at the defense side of the ball, what's happening with our defense? We're kind of getting after the quarterback. Byron Burns might get 10 sacks. Hassan Reddick's going to get plus 10. What's going on? No interceptions. We're not turning the ball over for whatever reason. That seems to be the thing that's always been good for this simulation so far. First 2 years, the Panthers have been able to turn the ball over consistently and often. All right, the Panthers finished atop the NFC South 11-6, and they've got to actually play the Saints, who made it to the Super Bowl last year. Was it last year? Yeah, no, it was the year before, right? I can't even remember. 11-6, but they have to play an interdivisional playoff game. We've got some upgrades to do here. I'm not even going to worry about it. It's our last year. I'll just let the computer upgrade all these players. I'm not even that concerned with it. Now, should we try to win the game or should we just sim it? Should we help out? I don't know. What should we do? I feel like I don't want to interfere with the game as much as possible. If they make it to the championship game, I'll play the game and I'll just play the moments. Let's see what happens. We're going to fast forward here and then we'll look at the stats of the season and all that good stuff. The Panthers lose 38-10 to the Saints. Oh my gosh, guys. The Panthers are not able to do it with Cam Newton, but they do make the playoffs 3 years running. Cam throws for over 4,700 yards. 4,700 yards. He threw 31 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. That's actually pretty impressive. McCaffrey, 1,725 touchdowns. This offense was rolling. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers. Almost had 3. Robbie Anderson would have caught 3 more yards or one more catch for 3 more yards. DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall went off. So it wasn't the offense. It wasn't the offense. It looks like it was the defense. Hassan Reddick had 18.5 sacks, but Brian Burns really just didn't show up. We didn't get a lot of interceptions like we were in previous years. There's got to be some yearly awards here. I mean, come on. Christian McCaffrey finishes second in MVP voting. He almost wins back-to-back MVPs. Matt Rule for the 3rd straight year wins Coach of the Year. It might be a little slighted towards us because we're controlling it. Christian McCaffrey is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. Is there anybody else here that the Panthers are going to have? Best running back, obviously. Hassan Reddick almost got best defensive line. Ever since we moved him from linebacker, he hasn't been able to squeeze out the best defensive lineman, even though he's had a ton of sacks. Christian McCaffrey, 25 touchdowns. He ties Emmitt Smith for 4th most all time in a single season. That's actually pretty crazy. Rushing yards, do we know if anybody break this? Sometimes in these simulations, you'll get those. But guys, that's it for me. The Panthers finish the Cam Newton era, going to the playoffs 3 straight games, but not being able to capitalize. And I would like to let you know, or I'd like for you to let me know, what do you think if Cam Newton comes into the Panthers and does this 3 straight years? If he's able to accomplish this feat and actually bring the Panthers to the playoffs 3 years in a row, is that a comeback story? Could you consider that at age 35, he's still producing? Is he in the Hall of Fame? With those types of numbers, I still don't think he's going to be. He's got an MVP, he's got Pro Bowls, he's got tons of records, but I just don't know if that'll be enough to eclipse him. Maybe if he runs for some more touchdowns in his career here, he'll, because he's all-time rushing leader, maybe, but the 3 years that he was with the Panthers, or 2 of the years here, he just doesn't rack up any touchdowns. I don't think that's going to be enough. I think he's going to have to win a Super Bowl with the Panthers in order to get into the Hall of Fame. But that's it for me. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Hope everybody enjoyed. Peace out.